Hello. Hi. Sorry I'm a little late. I was having tech issues. It was lagging for a minute, so let me know how it looks on your end. But hello. Hi, welcome back. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys have been having a good weekend. We're going to be talking about David case today. David the singer, I have already covered him before. Thank you so much for being here. Please make sure you hit the like button, do all the YouTube things, subscribe, turn on your notifications, etc., etc. So the David case, if you're not familiar, which I'm not sure who isn't, there's been a lot going on with this case from the beginning, and I'm shook. So I did already cover this once. I do have a previous live. I will make a playlist for this. Um, Basically, go back there if you want to get like all the details of how the case started. But we know that David was basically dating Celeste when she was underage, when she was a child, basically. And no arrests have been made in this David case. Celeste was found in his Tesla trunk on September 8th, I believe. And no one has been charged or arrested in regards to why she was found dismembered in the Tesla. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of exclusive info coming out every day, I feel like, from TMZ and other channels covering it. And we're just going to go through, since we already did do kind of like the initial deep dive to begin with, we're just going to go through like updates here. We're going to read a few articles. We're going to watch a couple videos. We're going to go through a very detailed timeline that I was able to find online. It was really nice. And it's really good. And also I found this Reddit channel that I want to go through. It's they have basically all the information there as well. So we're just going to kind of touch on the theories and the conspiracies and what people think, what you guys think about this case, and what's being put out there. And we're going to watch a clip of law enforcement basically saying that they're looking into it, but David has not been made publicly made an announced by law enforcement as a suspect, but he is under investigation according to Celeste's family, specifically her brother Matthew. So we're kind of going to cover that um, throughout the live. But you guys definitely let me know as we go through what your thoughts are on the things that I'm going to talk about. Nonetheless, this case has brought a lot of attention to David. He did become kind of famous with his music on TikTok. And now pretty much so many more people know who he is because of this situation in case. And he has been, since the case has basically started, or et cetera, whatnot, he has been his content has been being streamed across all platforms, and he's had about 12 million streams. So this disgusting situation has brought him a lot of, I guess, fame, views, and streams, which equals money. And I don't know, let me know if you're familiar with David, if you're a fan. Were you a fan before this? I wasn't too much a personal fan of him, but I did like his music. I had heard it before. Never went into depth like we did in the last live regarding like the songs and the lyrics and stuff. I did have to cut out the Celeste unfinished song out of my last live for copyright, but I was able to keep everything else. So definitely make sure you check out the first part. So aside from the 12 million streams, there's also been footage of supposedly Celeste at a concert. I'm not sure if that's true. I don't really want to focus on things that aren't really like certified true. And I don't know. I heard on some channels that it was her and it wasn't her. So we don't know. I don't know if it was personally her at the concert. But there was a search warrant for his home in LA. Not that I've heard of his home in Texas, though. So I wonder if they're going to do a search there just to get more information, maybe. Again, he hasn't been charged with, being the suspect or him committing this crime yet. So where I was going with the search warrant is that to get a search warrant, there has to be probable cause, right? So I definitely believe that law enforcement is keeping a lot close to the, close to their organization and not sharing. I do think that they have information. They might even know from the Tesla cameras, which is something else I also wanted to talk about because I don't have a Tesla, but I've been kind of looking into it and like, they have smart cameras and all this, fancy stuff on them. And I'm just curious because I did see on one video, and let me know if you have a Tesla, that sometimes the data can get erased. So I know basically they have to get a search warrant through Tesla, I believe, and all that stuff. So I feel like law enforcement has already been there, done that, though. I feel like at this point, they might just be building an investigation. And if they're not building an investigation, then I think they might not know who did it. That's my only other guess, is that maybe they don't know because maybe of the level of decomposition of the body. Maybe there's a group of people involved. I don't know. So let me know. That was also something that I had on my PowerPoint that I wanted to talk about. Like, why such a slow arrest? Is there more than one person involved? Um, we don't we know that Celeste and David were dating, and he started dating her, allegedly met her when she was like 10 or 11, which is disgusting. And I do want to say that whether he gets found, if he's a suspect, if he did this, whatever the case is with the whole crime of it all, but like, nonetheless, if he didn't do it and somebody else did, he's still a PDF file in my book. Like, you're still dating a child. So he has to get hopefully charged with something. But I mean, is this information circumstantial? Like, we're seeing TikToks and live streams of him and Celeste, but it's kind of somewhat older content as well. So I don't know. Could there be more than one person involved? Definitely. The family has confirmed that David is under investigation, according to a post I saw from her brother Matthew, who stated that she was she didn't return home when she went out for a night, allegedly to go see a movie with her boyfriend David, and she never came back, which is going to lead into a whole slew of conversations here because I want to talk about like her home life as well, and we're going to talk about the private investigator Steve Fisher, who has obtained like the reports on the Tesla car, because apparently it had been abandoned and it had dents and all this stuff. So we're going to watch a little clip on that too, which I didn't until I seen that. I thought, why is there a huge dent on the trunk of the Tesla? And why was it abandoned? And why was there dust on it? And why was the part of the back taped together? So could something have happened in the Tesla regarding to Celeste's death? But then also I think like allegedly she was dismembered. And so accident or not, whether some people say she could have possibly OD'd, okay, fine, but who chopped her up? Someone still did that. I mean, she didn't do it to herself, right? Anyways, let me see who's here. Who is here? I saw Cree, I saw Austin. Where have you been? Stephanie, I saw Tay, see Tippy, Cree, Elysia, hello. Melly After Dark is on this channel. It's just a different segment. Good to see you, Chuck's granddaughter. Do you think the Tesla thing is real? Some say it's not true, not real. I didn't include it in this live because I don't think it is, and I don't think it's important to share. So I don't know. Hey, Britt Nicole, good to see you. I heard this Tesla was plus 100,000 with dents all over it. Yeah, it was actually, I think like 116,000 is what I heard. I don't go for TikTok music. His lyrics are too dark. Yeah, his lyrics are dark. I'm not going to lie, though. I do like a few of the songs. Didn't know who he was until this happened. That's a lot of people, but hey, he's making money off of it, at least for streams. Yeah, I don't think the Tesla thing is like relevant right now. But if something comes of it, then I'll share it. But yeah, there was like a key found. Even if it was, I mean, we don't even know who had the car at this point. So I feel like it could be an issue. Hi, hot issue detective. Sorry if you hear my AC. Why is that such an option so much? Yeah, she was dismembered. I keep hearing conflicting reports. Is this in the paperwork? Yeah, she was dismembered. She was dismembered. What is a Tesla thing? So the Tesla had like damage to it. There was a dent to it. There was a key found. We're going to kind of go through that in the video. So, okay, let's go back to, we're going to watch the video on the car, but I also did want to point out there have been parties at this house. So after the fact, I don't know if that's true. Allegedly, he did move out of the house. The house where David was staying at was being rented by his manager for $20,000 a month. And, you know, I have questions about this. I have questions about the manager as well. Like, how much did he know? Was Celeste staying at the house? You know, she was a runaway. If she was at the house while he was on tour, then they must have known about Celeste. So there's a lot of shady stuff, I think, going on here. Allegedly, he went live on Fortnite too. David, I don't know if that's true, but that I did hear that. I wanted to mention that in case any of you guys play Fortnite. Again, the car was abandoned. It had been moved around. There was dust on it. It had a dent on it. And if the car was moved around from side of the street to the other side of the street or whatever the situation is, my question is, who moved the car? Because David was allegedly on tour. So there's a lot of questionable things here. Sorry, I just hit the mic. And like I said, the home was being rented by his Interscope manager, from what I hear, for $20K a month. And I did hear, I remember I did look up the manager, and his name was Josh Marshall. So I want to know how much people around David knew as well, which I'm sure probably law enforcement's going to be on top of that. I did also want to note 71 pounds. Celeste was 71 pounds when she was found. Her body was decomposed in the trunk of the Tesla. And I don't know if that's like 71 pounds. Like, what is the 71 pounds? Because I thought she was dismembered. So clearly it would be probably less weight because she's dismembered, right? I know this is brutal, trigger warning. In the missing poster, it did say she was like 100 and something pounds. So here she was 71. I'm assuming that's why. Because then I was thinking, if that wasn't why, was she starved? Was it because she has been decomposing for a period of time, a long period of time, which people also think that is true. She's been sitting in the trunk for quite some time. They're still waiting on the full, I think, autopsy. It was in the status of deferred. So basically, they had to go more in depth in the testing to determine. And I just wonder, like, of course, the toxicology will tell us if she was on rugs, if there's something in her system, hopefully. I also wonder if, like, during the autopsy, they can tell if she had just had sex. I know that's like a random thing, but I'm curious. And I don't know to what level of decomposition you can't tell those things. And since she was dismembered, I don't really know, like, that's possible. But I was curious about that because, again, if David's on tour and that was the case, then who was she around? You know, these are just things that I'm thinking in my head that I think are like reasonable. So how I mentioned the Tesla cameras, I don't know. Some people say that the data can be deleted. It's something like to do with the setting, but I think at the end of the day, Tesla might be able to retrieve all the data. I don't know. I have to look into that a little more. There's also exclusive news from TMZ, who has been getting a lot of this exclusive news, but there's a convenience store footage of Celeste going by a convenience store where allegedly the first time she had run away, she had been there, the family had been there looking for her. So we'll watch a clip on that. And then again, just keep in mind, like, where was the manager? Was the manager on tour? Who was at the house? Who was living at the house? Who was partying at the house? Was Celeste there? Was she on tour with him? Clearly not, because she was in the trunk. Someone must have known, managers must have known. And did something happen in the car? Like, there's all this dent and damage to the car. Initially, the initial complaint of the car went out on August 26th. The car got inspected on August 27th. And then on September 3rd, I believe, I think cops were back. We'll watch it in the Steve Fisher clip. And then on the 5th, I believe it was towed. And then her body was found on like the 8th or 9th. And her birthday was on the 7th. So there's kind of a little bit of the timeline. We have a really good timeline that I'm going to go through here in a second. And that's going to bring me to, we're going to watch a clip right now about how people believed around David that she was 18 or 19 years old, and she was that she went to the university, UCSC. She was a college student there because she had multiple fake IDs. And so I'm going to play a clip. Actually, I'm going to read an article and then we'll watch the clip. But, she had multiple fake IDs. How did she get these? Who got these for her? And if she had multiple IDs and people were constantly around her and they knew, then they're liars and kept that to themselves. But also, different IDs have different names, so I'm just wondering if if it's a repeat celebrity showing up to an event and this girl has like different IDs every single time, or to a bar or whatever the situation is, nobody would have realized, like, close to him, that, hey, if they didn't know how old she was, that it was always a different ID, or like, did she have somebody making IDs for her that were all the same? I'm curious about the whole ID thing, but let's read this article. This case is really wild. Another parent failure. Yeah, I was going to touch on that when we got to the home life slide. Yeah, I kind of agree. It is another one of those situations. Okay, so this article here is Celeste Rivas had fake IDs. David's friends thought his girlfriend was 19. It says, while the mystery behind 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez's death and her connection with David remain unsolved, the singer's friends have now issued statements claiming that Celeste had many fake IDs and they used to believe that she was 19. The revelations come as LAPD has not yet been made any arrest into Rivas's death, nor has it issued any statement on Rivas's connection to the singer, who is now out of the public eye. TMZ reported that David's friends claimed that they saw Celeste at parties and hangouts, which had age restrictions, and they thought David and Celeste were a couple. They also believed that Celeste was a student at USC. And then it says David moves out of Hollywood Hills apartment. Several conspiracy theories are doing the rounds as the LAPD has not yet charged David, even after raiding the Hollywood Hills apartment where Celeste used to stay with him. Celeste was reported missing in 2024 until her remains were found in David's Tesla on September 8th. But Celeste was not dead long before, as a neighbor claimed that he saw Celeste with David weeks before her body was found, which is something crazy as well. The neighbor claimed that the Tesla apparently met with an accident and David did not repair it and eventually dumped it. Celeste had a habit of running away from her troubled home, and speculations are rife whether Celeste fled from David's house also and met with some accident, or if that's what David told the cops to distance himself from the death. She's 14 this year. So yeah, her birthday was on the 7th, September 7th, and she would have been 15. So yeah, she was 14 when she was unalived. And then I guess she met him when she was 10 or 11, maybe even 12. I don't know that we have that exact information from law enforcement yet, but there's like, Discord and all that stuff that um proves that he met her when she was really young. So, which let's go into it, I guess, since we're already kind of there with the home life. Um, why was she a repeat runaway? Why did she keep running away from home? Like, and I'm not here. I just want to say, like, I'm not here to blame the parents or do any of that. Um, Bullying towards the family, my heart goes out to them, and I'm disgusted and I'm so sad that Celeste was a child when she was on Discord and she met this man who, well, not even a man. I mean, he was like 17 to 20. He's 20 now, but still, he was getting involved with a child. But I also do want to point out like the reality part of it. And it's like, if she didn't have a bad, troubled home life, could this have been prevented? Like, was her home life that bad that she was running away with David? I don't think she knew what love was at that age. Um, and how bad was it to have to like run away so much? She has gone missing 3 times on paper, like February, I think it was January, February, and then March of 2024. So basically early 2024 she had gone missing, and then April 5th is allegedly when the last time she, I don't know if that was the last time when she was going to go to the movies, but allegedly that's another time that she ran away. So, what was lacking? Why was there a bad home life? And how bad was it? And I hate to say this, but some people do say like that the family knew what was going on, right? Because her mom and her brother knew that she was dating somebody by the name of David. Some people are saying that there was like money involved. I don't know. It's pretty messed up. I'm not sure how much of that is true, but it's fair, I guess, if it's something I've been reading online. Let me go back to the comments. Yeah, Ausane says, yikes. That means in total, what was found is 71 pounds with decomposition. She would have lost a huge amount of weight. That's small. Did you see his disgusting shirts? Yeah, the disgusting shirts, the videos, the very telling videos and lyrics. I want to play with them on that. Wait, what? I said I want to play that video. I meant to say I want to play that video in a second, but I was reading your comments. We should tell the cops about this. Yeah, I think they're definitely looking into him. So he is a real chomo. Yes. In my book, he is a real chomo. Oh, thank you, uploader. Says Millie has the best necklace. The parents would take the time to police the children online. Okay, can we talk about that like just for a minute? Um, were you guys babysat by your parents? And I don't mean babysat in a bad way, but like when you guys were younger, because I'm gonna be honest, I come from a Hispanic background and like my parents didn't give a shit to an extent. They were like, whatever, use social media at a really young age. And sometimes I do question that. And I do wonder, like, hmm, how did that affect me now that I'm an adult and like understand the psychology of it all? But like, yeah, I was pretty much able to use whatever social media I wanted at a really young age. But I never got into a situation like this with Celeste, Celeste meeting an older man and like running away. Like, I wasn't running away at 12 or 13. If anything, like when I would get pissed off when I was like 16 or 17, I'd be like, I'm leaving. I'm moving out. And I would like go to my friend's house down the street. And then I'd be back like the next day. So that's like the type of shit that I would do. But like I never actually like ran away with an older guy like this, at least not at 12 or 11 or even 13. Hussein says, no, I was an angel. Please. I watched what mine were doing online. Did you? I like that. I think that I would watch my kids if I had kids. I do think I would be kind of strict, which doesn't make any sense, but I'm Hispanic too. I was taught independent and risk something like this, not even close. Right? First liberties. So anyways, that's part of the home life that, I just had questions about. I'm like, well, what was going on? Like what kind of bad home life was it? Was there like abuse? Was it just like a lack of love and a lack of caring? Was it financial? Was there abuse going on? Had she been, essayed? Was there essaying going on? Like these are just things that are coming into my brain. It's all alleged. I'm just a girl on the internet. Like I'm just a girl on the internet. But it's really sad. That's really sad. Like what if hypothetically if she had a good life, would she have run away? Or was it something that was inevitable because of social media? And she was going to go on Discord and meet this person anyways. And there's predators. He's a predator, he's a PDF file. I don't care if he's famous or knows how to sing or whatever the hell. Like that does not faze me. Like that does not mean you can prey on children. And so it's tough. It's definitely tough. And I'm sure her family is going through it, and that sucks. But someone needs to be held accountable and someone needs to be held responsible. Be that David or the person who did this to her, but also why was she running away and why did she run away 3 times? And was law enforcement involved all 3 of those times? I believe I only read that maybe once. And then they had missing posters. And then I'm thinking, you know what? Okay, fine. I'm going to be a little petty. I'm thinking, okay, she's been missing since April of 2024. That's a hell of a long time, honey. Baby, we're going into Christmas time here. Like it's going to be Halloween next month. Um and we only seen one missing poster. So for like a year, again, I said this in the last live, why didn't they talk to the media? Like why didn't the family try to get this out there? Like what the hell was going on? But then I was thinking, okay, bad home life, maybe, just maybe they allowed it. And by allowed it, I'm not saying that they allowed her to be murdered, but I'm saying maybe they allowed her to date an older guy. Like maybe her parents were just like, we can't stop it. She's going to keep running away. He's going to keep giving her money. They were talking, she was telling her brother that they were going to get married when she was 18, which is disgusting. So anyways, I have a lot of questions about that, but let's get into another article. The F, yeah, I know. Grooming, this is like the ultimate. Well, Maddie Soto got groomed pretty effing bad too. And that is a case that really makes me angry. So I'm not even gonna get into it right now. But yeah, she was groomed. She was groomed. Absolutely. I grew up in the 80s. I'm going to the depths of hell to get my baby, period. Which city was she from? Lake Elsinore in California. I don't know what it's like there. I don't know if it's the hood. Like I'm not familiar. I'm from California, but not from that area. That could be normal for her, and that's gross for me to say. Again, yes, LJ, I agree. That's where I was going with like, did they allow it? What was her home life? Did maybe her home life cause her to see more in a sense and grow up faster? So maybe she was a little bit ahead of her time when it came to dating older guys and being online and doing stuff like that. Discord, I think that's where she met him. And Discord is pretty shady. I mean, there's a lot of crime going on there, in my opinion. Okay, and so another thing is that I wanted to hit on before we get into the videos and whatnot. Was she pregnant? People are saying she could be pregnant. I definitely think that's a possibility. I think that it could be, what do you call it? It could be like the reason why she was unalived. I don't know. What do you guys think about the pregnancy thing? They haven't said anything about it, but a lot of true crime sleuths have been saying like, well, she could have possibly been pregnant. And I think people started saying that, which we're going to go through the Discord pictures, but there is I have pictures, we're gonna go through them, of a thread where David talks about him and wifey having a baby, and he was already dating, Celeste at this age. I think she was, like, 12 or 13. So, we're gonna yeah, he was saying that they were gonna have a baby. He didn't say me and Celeste, but he said me and wifey, are gonna have a baby, and that was really sus to me as well. We'll get into the theories after, but let me pull up, speaking of the Discord, allegedly, he's he was on the Discord and now the Discord has been disabled. So I did wanna kind of read that article, just a little bit of it, because I thought that's, a lot of the evidence, if I may, if we may evidence the internet evidence, is on that Discord. So it says David's subreddit, I'm sorry, not Discord. I meant, well, Discord too has been, some of it has been disabled, but the subreddit locked after Redditors accused him of moderating it. It says singer David is facing online backlash after users accused him of deleting critical posts from his own subreddit. The controversy comes amid police investigation into the death of Celeste, whose body was found in the Tesla linked to the singer. People are quick to notice unusual activity on David's official Reddit subreddit, claiming posts that raised concerns about the case and lyrics were removed. Because David was listed as the sole moderator of his account, users accused him of trying to control the narrative in favor of portraying him in a more positive light. But hours later, the subreddit was locked and Redditors were no longer allowed to make posts. Many alleged David left the subreddit, which disables others from posting any further. One must request to join the community before they're allowed to post. Because David was also removed as the owner, there is no one on the moderator list. This all comes after someone who claimed they moderated the David Discord server and Twitch channel posted a message saying they did not know about Celeste. In the message, the mod says they were not aware of Rivas's true age or that she was a missing person. According to the admin, based on what was shared in David's Twitch streams and from Rivas's role in the Discord server, they believed she was around 18 or 19. In the previous live that I did cover the message about the Discord, and it's somewhat lengthy, so definitely go back and rewatch part 1 so you can get that side of you can get that tea as well, because I think all of this information is important in helping the investigation. I really do. The things you do to cover up will get you caught. Exactly, Rochelle. What was her mom doing in her life that she was hiding and not looking for her child? Ahem. Yeah, for a year she was missing. Heller. Allegedly the family was hearing that Celeste was that they knew she was okay. And I'm like, how would they know she's okay and safe? Had she been calling? If so, then they allowed it and they were aware if she was checking in with them. Right? So then what the heck? First Liberty says this makes sense to me. She's from a rich area. I've been seeing this for the years. Oh, okay. Is it from a rich area? I don't think she was from a rich area. Is that a rich area? Hey, Jamie. A year? Yeah, she went missing in April of 2024. She was running away. That's the last time I think that they said she ran away. And she was what, living with David that whole I mean, it's September 2025. If she was gone for a year and they didn't I guess I'm just wondering why there wasn't a scene about her missing if it was that long, and if they knew she was okay, then they enabled it and they were aware, or no? Like, are you catching my drift? Like, if they knew she was okay and they did what they could initially, then they knew she was doing something she wasn't supposed to do that maybe they didn't have any control over, but she was a child. Therefore, why didn't you involve police? It is alleged that they did try to involve police once, and I guess there wasn't enough information maybe to get David arrested or involved. But these are things that I think are really important and really shady. Um, She still talked to friends. Part 1 was excellent, Millie. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Beeblet. I think she had run away and come back. They thought she would come back. Okay. Yeah, I guess, and, like, not all of it not everybody is like us. Um, we're true crime, junkies, so, like, we would think, like, reaching out to platforms and stuff like that, but I guess if you're not into that and her family maybe didn't think of, like, pushing it out there, like, "My daughter's missing." Okay, so they knew she wasn't missing then, and she was with someone she wasn't supposed to be with? Do you see what I'm saying here? And I'm not trying to be mean about the family or anything, like, I'm definitely not. Nobody deserves this. Um, let's read this article, though, because it kinda goes into the familial issue. My StreamYard's acting up. It's really pissing me off lately. Okay. So this article says haunting calls. And I covered this, I think, in part 1. Celeste Rivas's family got chilling warning before the body found and David Tesla's after her relationship from 13. Look at how, like, young she looks here. That's a picture of her right there. That's Celeste. Wild. Just wild. There's him. There's a Tesla. There's a home right here, the home of Celeste Rivas, who declined to comment on the case on Wednesday. Oh, I can make it big. Okay, there's the missing poster. See, it says right there 120 pounds. I wanted to show you guys because remember how they said she was 71 pounds? She looks 8. Yeah, same. It's really quite disgusting. She's so pretty. I know. It's kind of says that he literally wrote the script for the crime. I know. I'm going to play the song. It's okay if I have to edit it out. I just want to cover it again. Okay, so there's a missing poster, 120 pounds. There she is again. Look at her. She looks young. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call bullshit on my friends. Like, if my friends bring around a girl and she looks that young and she's saying she 18, 19, I'm gonna be like, girl, show me your ID. Like, you're not playing me. You know what I mean? Right? Wouldn't you guys be like, what the heck? Because she looks young. I get it if it was a girl that was like wearing a lot of makeup and she was wearing like very promiscuous clothes and she was like, out there like that at 11 and 12. Like, I could see why people think, okay, maybe she's older, but like she is not wearing makeup in some of these pictures and you can just see like that child face. So it's disgusting. Yeah, we're all saying, we're all calling bull. Maybe her parents were scared to seek help because they thought they would get in trouble for knowing about the older guy and it being inappropriate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Totally. Okay, so let's go back to this article. It says her decomposing corpse was bagged and stuffed inside the car that was registered to David. Okay, so Celeste was initially reported missing in April 2024, and her family made social media posts asking for help to find the teenager, although they later went quiet. Photographs of Celeste and David together have since emerged on social media. There's a source who is close to Celeste's mother, her name is Mercedes, told the U.S. Sun that they're all devastated over the teen's death and claimed they begged for help for the police. The insider, speaking in Spanish, said the family was aware of Celeste's relationship with Burke. The source said, quote unquote, I still don't know a lot, but I don't understand why the police didn't do more. For a period, Celeste came back home by herself and stayed with her mom, but the police weren't involved. Why didn't they ask her, were you okay? Are you okay? I don't know when she came back, but then she disappeared again and went back to him. I know someone called her mom and said, quote unquote, stop looking for her. She's fine. They told the family to take down the social media post about her being missing. It is not known who the alleged caller was or whether they were connected to David in any way. The source said they took a post down asking for help as they were scared the situation was out of hand. The insider was sickened to hear of the gruesome detail reported about Celeste's death and said they are desperate for justice. Celeste leaves behind her parents, Mercedes and Jesus, her brother Matthew, and half sister Jennifer. Rivas' brother told NBCLA that they knew she was dating the singer and claimed she ran off with him in 2024 after he regularly picked her up in the same Tesla her body was found in. You mean regularly? So she was like, bye. We're going to the store. See you guys later with my older boyfriend at 11 or 12. Are you catching my drift here? The U.S. Sun source, who has known Celeste since she was a baby, sobbed as they described the teen as a very happy girl. They said, quote unquote, it hurts me a lot because I basically saw her grow up. She would often come and visit. She did well in school, studied a lot. She was very mature for her age. She would help her mom, and she was great with children. Sources claimed to the Daily Mail that Rivas's relationship with the singer was an open secret, and she had been skipping classes at Lakeland Middle School before she vanished in 2024. It is not known when or how Rivas and Burke first connected, but they are believed to have been hanging out when she was at least 13. But I think it started at 11, according to the Discord stuff. Who knows? Still, gross, disgusting predator. Riverside County Sheriff's confirmed to the U.S. on Sunday, the U.S. Sun on Thursday that deputies were dispatched to the house in Lake Elsinore on April 5th, 2024 at 9:47 p.m. regarding the report of a runaway. Upon arrival, deputies spoke with the reporting party who advised the female juvenile had left the location in an unknown direction. Deputies conducted a search of the area but were unable to locate the female juvenile. The female was entered into the missing person database as a runaway, and the report was forwarded to the investigators for follow-up. The investigation remained ongoing. They say on September 17th, the Riverside Sheriff's Office received notification from the LAPD that the missing female identified as Celeste had been located and was identified as a victim of a death investigation. So they all knew. Hey D, hey Whittle, good to see you. The interwebs. How the F did he even meet her? It was online. Yeah. Remember the teacher? Remember in the first live I played the clip of the teacher? We can probably play it again when we get to the Discord part of the live. Remember the teacher was like talking to the class about how she had run away and like was in school and stuff. Like, so he said that Celeste had told people at school that she met him on social media. I did want to let's play a few clips before we get to the Reddit, because the Reddit has a lot of information. But I have a couple clips. They're all like a couple minutes long, 3 minutes here and there. This one is regarding the friends believing that she was older. And it's not her first time running away. She was rebellious, but David was wrong. Absolutely. At the end of the day, she was a minor. She was a child. Whatever his excuse was, I'm still not okay. I'm not going to ever be okay with. You know what I mean? Nobody should be okay with that. Okay, let's play this clip.
Of David, how did they know him and how well did they know him?
Yeah, so the folks that I spoke to are in the LA music scene, so they know David very, very well. They didn't know Celeste as well as they knew David, but they did notice that he was bringing her along when they would go to parties in the music scene. Maybe they would have hangouts after a recording session. And they knew David to be a very gentle person, is what they told me. They also described him as very soft-spoken. Friends around him are extremely shocked that he's even remotely connected to this grisly murder of a 14-year-old girl. Obviously, he has not been named a person of interest. And from what we've seen, there is no legitimate connection connecting him to the death of this young girl. However, her remains were found in his car. And just that connection alone has really shocked a lot of people around him.
Did they get the impression that this was a romantic couple?
Yes, absolutely. So the people that I spoke to that were seeing them together out in the scene believed they were romantically involved. Now, look, they did not say anything about PDA, said that David was a very shy, quiet person, and Celeste seemed to mirror that as well. So they weren't out there making out at parties and things like that, but they did believe, because they would see them together so frequently, that these two were in a relationship.
Where did they get the idea that she was somehow a 19-year-old going to USC as a college
I know. Isn't that just so crazy? Because, you know, we think, how does a 14-year-old child present as a 19-year-old woman? And I was told that these people were just so sure that she was a college student. They were specific. They said that she attended USC from what they believed. And also she was seen at events where there's age restrictions, you know, clubs and parties and stuff like this, where she had to be at least of 18 years old to get in. And we do know from law enforcement sources that she did have several fake IDs as well. So she was able to get into places where there was age restrictions. But,
you know, Charlie, it's so sad to hear that you and I are talking about a 14-year-old girl, but I keep going back to the fact that it's possible he connected with her as early as 12, and on the far end, maybe even 11. Did these friends have a long relationship with David? Like, for instance, did they know Celeste when she was maybe 13, or God forbid, even 12?
yeah, so the people that I spoke with just recently got to know him. You know, he has been popular for quite some time. We know that he had been signed to a record label when he was underage. However, he has kind of blown up in the music scene the past couple years. So it would have been the past couple years that they did know her. But yeah, she would have been, what, about 12 years old during the time that she was coming around. And, you know, we don't know a whole lot about who her friends were, if she did have friends. We just know that she was coming around more in his circle. And we know she wasn't really home very often because she wasn't attending school.
Well, God, if you think about it, you know, her friends would have been elementary school friends, because it's only a couple of years ago that she would have been in elementary school. And if she disappeared at 13, she would have been just into middle school. And just the whole idea that we're talking about it is so uncomfortable. But I am so curious about her story and how she presents. And as you mentioned, these friends of David said she presented very much like a 19-year-old. Did they see her driving? Did they see her driving, say, his car? Because if she's telling everyone she's a USC student, she's got to be going out of the house or leaving his presence on a regular basis.
Yeah, these people did not see her driving or ever see her driving his car or anything of the such of the matter. But, you know, she was always with him. So, you know, everything he did in his life, she kind of seemed to follow.
Do we know, Charlie, if these friends had any inkling that Celeste had actually moved into that mansion, that she was full on a resident of that home in the Hollywood Hills with David?
So the people that we spoke with a lot of neighbors in the area, and they don't recall seeing Celeste, or at least don't remember seeing her face. I know there are reports out there saying that she had been living with David and was at least staying there in the past couple weeks, leading up to when she was discovered.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our...
Okay, so again, what I said earlier, like, people know when, Wedo even said it, like, you know when a girl is 12. And, you know, they made a good point about, could she have been driving the car? Remember, there was damage to the car, etc. I guess that's a possibility. But she was only 14. You guys, she was 14. Her 15th birthday was on September 7th. Her body was found September 8th, 9th. I can't remember which day exactly. So it was the 8th. So was she driving at that age? There's a lot of suspect things here. I'm not going to lie. This is wild. Wild. You can tell how old a 12-year-old. Thank you, Jamie. They're leaving out one of the most important parts. This is LA. Celebrity pool is everything. Identification doesn't matter. We saw Lindsay Lohan clubbing when she was under 18 and the Olsen twins, etc. So true. Absolutely. I was just going to say that. That's in my notes too. It was like, the dangers of social media. Like I wanted to touch on that because this case depicts the dangers of social media, but also, Hollywood. We've seen it with Diddy. We've seen it with the Hernandez brothers, abuse, celebrities thinking that they have money and power and do this nasty stuff. And, David was famous. He was. I mean, we might have not listened to him, but he was pretty big on the TikToks and, the music and stuff like that. I'm going to play another clip about, this is from TMZ, and this is the surveillance video. It's short. It's just a 3-minute surveillance video. Good evening. Thank you guys for being here. Please make sure you hit the like button. So it was near her birthday. Yes. Yes. She was found the day after her birthday, which is so sad. So sad. Okay, let's watch this 3-minute clip from TMZ. Let me make myself bigger. I don't know why StreamYard keeps doing that.
When police found the badly decomposed remains of Celeste Rivas Hernandez in the trunk of her rich boyfriend's Tesla, it kicked off a spiraling mystery 2.5 weeks ago. But it also ended another mystery, one that had lasted 1.5 years. Celeste was a missing person from the age of 13 on. Her disappearance was reported to the Sheriff's Department of Riverside County, where she lived. In April of 2024, that report went in. But she had been a runaway at least twice before that, in January and again in March of that year. Now TMZ has obtained video from the March disappearance. It was captured by a surveillance camera down the street from Celeste's home in Lake Elsinore, California. There's Celeste, right there, at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Tuesday. This was March 19th. Where she's going and why she starts to run is unclear. But one thing is certain. This minute-long video is critical to what came next in her young life, as is personal information about Celeste herself from the man who owns the cameras. I spoke a short time ago about all of this with TMZ executive producer Charles Ladibaudiere, and here's our conversation. Charles, tell me about this video, when it was taken, and the significance of the date and time.
Well, the video that we obtained from this is surveillance video from a liquor store in Lake Elsinore, California. The date is March 19th, 2024. What's significant about that date is this was around the time where what we've heard now from several people who have known, who knew Celeste, is that she was a runaway, and that in early 2024, there were multiple times that she ran away from home. This would have been either the second or third time, we're trying to figure that out, that she ran away in March. The first time had been in January. We've talked about it, that the police found her in Hollywood and brought her back to her family. But in March, she took off again. And we know this because her sister went into this liquor store and asked the owner if he had seen her come into the store. Did he have any surveillance video that might have shown her or where she went? He went back and looked at his cameras, and he did see this video, which shows Celeste walking down the street, walking at first, but then running, and she's running toward someone. Now, you lose it in the video because she gets too far down the street and you can't make out the vehicle. But the owner of the liquor store who we spoke to told us there was a car waiting for her there.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and down.
So there was a car waiting for her there. I'm not sure how they can tell that that was her. I guess it was, but I don't really see her face. But again, you know, she's running towards that car. I don't know. Was it possibly David? Let me play. Okay, this is another video on the abandoned Tesla that I think is really, really, really important. Okay.
Investigator who specializes in missing persons, and he got his hands on the paper trail from that first ticket that went on the Tesla's windshield to the end of the line at the impound lot. And he learned that fed up neighbors called police about this car on August the 26th. An officer came by the very next day and left a ticket on the window. A second ticket was issued September 3rd. And the car was finally towed September 5th, 3 days before it became a key piece of evidence in what's now being confirmed as a homicide. Steve Fisher is the man behind that pro bono detective work, and he joins me now live. Steve, thanks so much for being on tonight. Tell me about the tow report
Steve, if
that
you're
you
not
were able to
familiar,
obtain and some of the information.
if you're not familiar with who Steve is, he's Steve Fisher. Steve SF Investigates. He does a lot of true like gets documents and covers a lot and is like boots on the ground.
That you learned from the report.
So, you know, it was first called in by a neighbor on the 26th. And the only note that was on it was when they asked for any identifying information besides the license plate, you know, they noted that there was a large dent in the back. And, you know, it was curious that there wasn't an odor mentioned. Now, that doesn't absolutely mean that in the conversation with the agent, you know, they didn't mention that and it just didn't get reported. But, you know, in LA, a traffic officer has to come out at least 3 times before they can tow it on 3 different days. They have to chalk the tires, make sure it hasn't moved, because it is legal to park on that street. So, you know, as far as what was gathered from that, it was nothing regarding the smell or anything, but for it to get towed from that area, considering there is no parking restrictions, it had to be there quite a while, I think.
Well, let's talk about that, because not only did you get your hands on the towing report with all the information it yielded, but you also knocked on some doors and you found some of the neighbors who indeed knew about that car and knew how long it had been there. What did they tell you?
You know, I talked to someone that, you know, nobody wanted to be on the record, but they said that they believe they're certain the car was there more than a month. There was somebody else that said that the car had moved around a couple different times, but that's going back as far as May. It had been moving around. And, you know, from those photos actually were embedded with the ticket that was taken. So when they provided the ticket on the 3rd, they give images, you know, in case it goes to court and they can back it up. They're really high res images. I could really zoom into them. And I mean, that dirt is caked on that car. So I think that car got dumped a lot earlier than a lot of us think.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at the pictures at the same time you are on screen, and our viewers are seeing it too.
Yeah. So how long was Celeste in that trunk decomposing? Schmurdered.
One of the things I noticed with the caked on dirt is that you would not have been able to drive it with windshields that caked. It would have been really hard to drive. So, and I'm just so sad when I see this car parked here, because you know that she's in the trunk in this image, and it's so sad to. Yeah, it's extraordinarily sad. It's not just a parked car that's getting a ticket.
Yes, you guys are right. I know sometimes they make mistakes, but she was 14 when she was unalived. Her 15th birthday was 1 day before the car was found. So she didn't get to see 15.
and getting towed. It's a tomb where a girl had been decomposing, day after day after day. But it's interesting you say a month, but then it's also interesting you see the police came back 3 different times and chalked the tires. What's the protocol for them? Why didn't they tow it the first day they were called?
So they're not allowed to tow it unless it's documented that it has not moved in 72 hours. So now when they came out on the 26th, or they got called on the 26th, they came out first on the 27th. That happened to be Labor Day weekend. So, it wasn't until the 3rd, until Labor Day was over, they came out the second time. But by ordinance here in LA County, and I do very familiar with this because I live in the area, you have to move within 72 hours. If it's called in as abandoned, it has to also have other factors, such as it appears to be abandoned. If this car was clean, it wouldn't have been towed.
Yeah. The fact that, the first call came in and 8 days later, it was towed. Each time they came out and established the 72-hour rule and had those 3 that they have to have. Did the neighbors that you talked to say anything else about, other than, yeah, it's been here for about a month? Did anybody say it smelled?
Not that I talked to. I know that I've seen reports that somebody did, but not that I talked to. However,
Wait, when it got towed from the house, I guess the towing company doesn't go through your back, your trunk or the back of the car. But yeah, if it smelled like decomposing body, if it was already in there, why didn't they smell it? And if they didn't smell it, so then someone put her body in at the tow yard in the trunk. That doesn't make sense to me. No, they don't. How does he get involved in these cases? I don't know. He needs to stop. To hook it up, though. What do you mean? They sleeping. She wasn't in there for very long. They're saying she was in the trunk for over a month. Therefore, when they picked the car up, they didn't smell it. I guess weather plays a role into it too. I guess the smell was bad at the tow yard because it was really hot at the time. Which it was. It's been freaking a hot summer. But, they have blocked nasal passages. I'm calling bullshit again. Either they pretended to not care that it smelled like dead human, or the body wasn't in there stinking. Remember, it was in plastic. So were her remains just carried around in plastic back and forth into the trunk? Yeah, she was wrapped in plastic. Inner Beauty says, I think it was much shorter time. We have to think of the weather. Yeah, that is at the tow yard. It's what drew the attention. Was that on the same day, I guess? Where's the rest of her? Oh my gosh. Where is the rest of her if she was dismembered, like they said? They said, I think her arm and her torso. Wait, where's the head? Oh my gosh. You have to throw away your clothes. It smells so bad. You guys, if you've never smelled, you wouldn't believe. Tow yards, few days later, smell was noticed. Yeah, probably by different people that were there. It's like the guy driving the tow truck probably didn't smell it or ignored it. And then the tow yard employees were like, what the hell? It smells. 100 to 71 pounds. Yeah, you guys, they were either starving her or she was literally in the trunk somewhere decomposing that much, or literally it was just her torso and her arm. But if she was in plastic, then maybe preserve some DNA evidence so they may find a suspect with it. Or maybe not. Could a baddie, not a baddie, could a body be decomposed to the point of where they can't tell anything? Do you see what I'm saying? How would they know what pants and shoes she had on, what earrings? Yes, they did have her clothes in the outfit. I've seen a tow truck get a car without getting out. Really? The times that I've been towed, the tow driver was all up in my business. Yeah. And then the police came. So I was like, oh shit, if I had a dead body in there, I would have definitely have gone to jail. Do you see what I'm saying? Especially if it smelled. I'm just saying that's not what happened, but I'm saying like, how did they not smell it, I guess, initially? Okay, let's finish this video.
The street that it's on, and I don't know if this was done on purpose or not, but the street Bluebird is just this little street with about 6 houses on it. It kind of makes a semicircle that wraps from one end of Doheny to and meets back up to Doheny. So it's not a super traveled street. Now Doheny is, so you drive by it, but where it was is kind of like a strategic area where there's only, see that road right there wraps around to the right and then it connects again to the main road. So there's not too many people that will walk by it. And these hedges on this house are so high that it really takes out people walking on the other side of the vehicle. So I don't know if it was actually done strategically, but if you're going to leave it somewhere, that's as good a place to leave it as any.
Well, the curious thing is, listen, and this is a sort of a weird topic, but I have a septic field and a septic system, and I've grown up that way. And I know that when the winds shift, it doesn't matter what kind of hedge is nearby. It doesn't matter if it's 30 feet away. You can smell those odors. And I'm just wondering if anybody on the other side of the hedge or across the street, or within, say, 50 feet of where that car was parked, had noticed that smell and wondered what it was. Because I believe the only report we had about that car was that somebody thought a dead animal was nearby.
Yeah, and I'll bet you now, in hindsight, they might. But I think that, without this happening, you walk by a car, it's the last thing you think is that somebody's in the trunk, deceased. And so you probably chalk it up to a bunch of other things, like said, a sewer line broke. I mean, it's LA, stuff like this happens a lot. I'm talking about like sewer lines and whatnot. And there's a lot of construction going on in that area all the time. So you could chalk it up to, they hit a line or something like that. I mean, really the last place people.
Basically, you guys, what I'm getting out of this, like my thought is kind of what you guys are saying. Was her body frozen? Definitely it was moved from one place to another. Like if the crime happened in the house. Wow. And if so, this person who did this, it probably wasn't their first time. Again, if you watch Dexter, like, that when you commit a horrible crime, you probably have had some kind of experience with that level of brutality and violence. So whoever did that, I need to know what they've been doing in their past and whether they're a diagnosed psychopath.
Go is there's a body in a trunk, now of course, now that we know that happened, it's easier to think that way, but
Oh yeah, hindsight's 2020,
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you about the damage on this car, because you've got a lot of insight into something we haven't all noticed in the video. But before I do that, I want to ask you about this location. I thought it was blocks and blocks away from David's house. It isn't.
No, I'd say it's probably 150 feet to Doheny Place, which he's on, from the rear of, from the trunk of that vehicle, because he's the first spot. They're parked on the first spot there. It's very close. In fact, on a weekend, I could see somebody parking there because there wasn't street parking on his street, because his street's very small.
Like it's one street over from where his house actually is?
Half a block, because his street is really kind of like.
Yeah, I'm tripping because he was on tour. He was out of the country, right? Or something, out of the state. A professional hit. Why in the trunk? A framing. That's on the end of my theories PowerPoint or slide. Did someone that was in the house with Celeste do it? Was it a friend, someone they knew? Did Celeste maybe try to run away from David's house and somehow she ended up dead? It had to have known someone that knew his car, though, and where he lived and how to get access to the car. You guys, we have to think that, like, was it a group of people? If he was being framed or set up, who's doing, like, I have questions. there's a lot of lies going on here, I think. And yeah, possibly definitely more than one person involved.
Almost like an alleyway. It's not an alley, but it's really a half of a regular block because the way the neighborhood's split up, it's very close. You could throw a rock at it.
It's unbelievable. It almost makes you wonder if the smell might have even reached the front door of that that mansion. Let me ask you about the damage. I didn't notice damage in the towing and in the drone videos, but what did you know about?
Well, I didn't really know until I saw these photos. And this car, this is a 2023 Model X. You paid $104,000 for this. I've seen the invoice, and it's just.
Oh, I said 116 earlier. My bad. It's 104.
I don't know what they've done to this car, but I mean, all the wheel wells have got damage, and I'm not really a car guy, but those side fenders on the other side are off. There's huge dent in the rear. The guy parking there also noticed front right damage. So I don't know what happened to this car, because I've seen, like, for instance, I found a Google Maps image of it happening parked in front of the house, right, the street view. And it does not look damaged there. So I don't know when this happened or how it happened, but it almost looks like it's been off-road.
You know, originally we all thought it was a Model Y until this video showed the door handles, and the door handles apparently are the giveaway for the Model X because they're angel wing doors. They go up instead of out. And so the reports are all changing. I mean, every official report that we saw was a Model Y. It looks very much like a Tesla I have, which is a Model Y, but apparently it is this Model X. And I can tell you one thing, my Tesla was not 104,000. So this is a really souped up version. Mine was like a fifth of that, honest to God. I can't believe
the X has got
that car was
larger,
that expensive.
Yeah, the X has got a larger front too. It's 6.6 cubic feet as opposed to 4.2 like the Model Y. So kind of explains how she might have fit in there as well.
Well, that's a very sad fact that I'll end on. Gosh, I thank you, Steve.
Yeah, something is crazy here. This is crazy. If this isn't one of the craziest cases, I think, of 2025, it's up there. Did he hit her with the car? No. I don't think so. Maybe she OD'd and someone stuffed her in the trunk, but then why dismember her? Why do that? If you wanted to make it look like a whatever and pin it on someone else, what was the point of dismembering her? That's a very personal thing. You know what I mean? That's a very violent, brutal thing. I'm not sure. Let's watch this. This is a 2-minute clip. And then we're going to get into the timeline, and the Reddit information is so good. I can't wait to get to that. So let's watch this 2-minute clip.
Information now about the 15-year-old girl found dead in the trunk of the car of singer David. Detectives are intensifying their investigation into the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, while her family says they're making plans to honor her life. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Fisher joining us now with the latest developments. Michelle?
Well, Mark, what we do know right now is that this family has Celeste's remains. They are one step closer now to laying her to rest as they grieve, but we still do not know how Celeste Rivas was killed, who did it, or why. An investigation into the death of 15-year-old Celeste Rivas continues as the LA County Medical Examiner confirms her remains have now been released to her family for memorial services. That could indicate a cause of death has been determined, but that information hasn't been released. This more than 2 weeks after Rivas's dismembered and decomposing body was found at a tow yard inside a Tesla registered to singer David.
It's an ongoing investigation. We have a lot of resources dedicated to bringing it to a conclusion.
LAPD Chief Jim McDonald speaking with Eyewitness News today about the relationship.
This little statement by LAPD is the first that we have heard. David has not been named a suspect. They haven't done an official press conference. Why is it so hush hush? What is happening? What is going on?
Between 20-year-old David and Rivas, who just turned 15 earlier this month.
There are discussions that they might have had a relationship. Would you investigate that relationship as a possibility? Because it could be illegal to have a relationship with somebody that age.
Yeah, certainly. Whenever you investigate a homicide, the detectives look at all of the associated issues as well. In this case, that's something that they would be looking at.
Last week, investigators took a computer as they searched a Hollywood Hills home where David had recently stayed. The singer, who was on tour, has now canceled all of his shows, but has not commented on the investigation.
This video, we're going to watch a clip of it too, by the way. It's a horrifying music video where he's dragging a body and puts it in the trunk. Very telling. I'm wondering if that's where he got the idea from.
Remains silent. His fans are loud online, critiquing his lyrics and music videos that feature gory imagery and themes. One of his most popular songs, titled Romantic Homicide. And take a look at this video for One More Dance.
The heavier the snow.
What appears to be a blindfolded David in a bloodied shirt, standing by as two people put a body into the trunk of a car. And this anime video for David's song Rehab, depicting a girl's arm being cut off. And a verified GoFundMe for Rivas' funeral expenses has raised now $24,000. It says
in that music video, there was an arm cut off, and we know that there was only proof. It had evidence it was her with the tattoo, because there was only one limb, I think, and that was in the trunk. Wow, God bless her. I know. They need to say it is illegal. I think the major reason why people dismember is due to getting rid of the body and hiding the crime. I don't know. Throw it in the river. Like dismembering, you have to think it's bloody. It's gory. It's not easy to cut up a human. He was already 18 when she first went missing. Yet another one of the dumbest, telling us how he did it through the song. No proof he did it. That's right. That's true, AB. He has not been charged. Hey, Tiffany, he has not been charged.
Services for the teenager are planned for next Saturday. That's October.
Okay, so I want to play a clip of that video. I might have to cut it out, but it's okay. We're going to watch a clip of that video where he puts the body in the trunk, and then we'll get started on the tea from the Discords or the Reddits that I found. There's a ritual. I know, that's what I was going to say. I have a slide that says theories. Okay, so could Celeste have been driving the car? Could he be innocent, set up and framed, like you guys have said? Maybe he was on tour. She was at the house, friends, partying, sus people. You know, like I said earlier, it's Hollywood, celeb life. Who was involved? Who was hiding things? Was money involved? Let's not play. Hollywood can be real nasty. Did she OD and someone got scared and put her there? Why dismembering? Again, it's very personal. It's very brutal. It's very violent. Why was she in a plastic tote? And where's the remaining of her body if she was dismembered and only some of it was found? And could they maybe have dismembered to try to get rid of hiding a pregnancy? If she was pregnant. And was the money getting money from David? Were people blackmailing David? Or was he paying them to be quiet? Like about the relationship? And then last but not least, people think, could this have been a sacrifice, a ritual, satanic, Illuminati, Hollywood, you know the rest. Those are just like my theories that I've read throughout and seen on other lives. If body parts were frozen when placed in which smells so right. You don't dismember for an OD. That's right, Rochelle. Is he taunting the authorities in his videos? I don't know. We played a couple of them last time. So agree with all your theories as well. Been on my mind. Yeah, I have so many things here. Skeletal remains of pelvic bones can tell if she was possibly pregnant. Not just the bones. There's tissues. There's fatty tissues. There's other things in the human body that can tell, I think, them if she was pregnant. Okay, let's watch a little bit of that video. I'm curious. I've seen parts of it, but not in its entirety, but we shall. I'll trim it out if YouTube gets mad. But, you know, this video is creepy. They put someone in the trunk and they cut off her arm. That's just really weird because that's what exactly ended up happening to her. You know what I mean? Okay. Oh my God, it just started and I'm shook already. What? Not him dragging the body. If you didn't notice, it's himself.
The snow.
And there's kind of a girl that looks like Celeste in this video too.
The smile of your
That is wild. I'm gonna fast forward to a little bit.
is if I can't see my hands, if my heart beats.
I turned off the music for a minute while we watch this clip. I have to go back and forth because copyright.
All I've seen is most of these people don't mean nothing except them before. All that I ask of you is more.
Anyways, I don't want to or mute. Yes, I know. And I don't hate to give him the view because he's making money right now, but that is crazy. I know. Watch it after. This is classic self-stitching. I love Bruce Rivers. I hadn't heard about the video, the being kind of, that's a whole lot of coincidence to me. Speed up the video. Can I do that? Or mute? Wow. Now they're like burying the body. That's wild. Let's show Here With Me. I think that's where the girl looks exactly like. We played Romantic Homicide on the first live. Oh yeah, this is the one where the girl looks like Celeste. Wait, is this the one? Yeah.
Along the coast as we're both getting up.
That's really interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to be like, okay, wait, are you guys not seeing any of it? Was I not sharing that video with you guys? Oh my gosh, don't hate me. I'm sitting there like watching this because I thought you guys could see. You guys are probably like, what is she doing? I probably look dumb. My bad. No. Oh, geez. I'm sorry. Here, this is a video with the Celeste.
As we're both getting up.
I know a lot of it came out around that 2 years ago. Oh, geez. It's number 18 on the top. Ugh. Yes, we did listen to the Celeste song last week, and then I got a copyright, so they had to edit it. I had to edit it out. But I don't mind playing it again. I kind of like the song. Don't come for me. I'm not saying I support but it's kind of a good song. Or at least the beat.
Just because. Be open up when you say hi. Smell her, hear her voice each time I take a breath. I'm obsessed. So that
I'm sorry. We can't. Again, I did it again. You left us out again.
afraid you'll only love me when undressed. But you look so damn gorgeous in that dress. Missing you so much makes me
I was like, I don't want you guys to hear or see it.
missing you so much makes me depressed. But I digress.
That's the song Celeste.
I love you.
People were saying that that's her saying I love you. I don't believe that. Shake my head. Don't hate me. Dang it. Okay, so yeah, if you guys want to listen to the whole Celeste song, go do it. Not right now, but do it after. Ew, he's singing about a child. You think it was some kind of warning to Celeste, like leave if you know what's going to happen? He says I'm obsessed. Oh, Celeste. Okay, 2-minute clip, and then we're gonna get into the Reddit real quick. There's a couple things I want to show. So sad she didn't even get to feel her life yet. Yo. StreamYard doing me dirty today, dude. It just totally kicked me out. Literally, I thought it was going to end the stream. I was going to be really, really pissed. Okay, let me play this video.
Are her neighbors in Lake Elsinore. Our producer found this memorial that they have set up. Her neighbors, those who loved her in this town, maybe some who didn't even know her.
Wait, can you guys see me? I'm back, right? Yeah. She was 14 when she was unalived. Yes, she was 14. 15th. Okay, now we can. Thank you. I was just making sure. Sorry. YouTube StreamYard did me dirty. I thought it was going to end. We were just lost in space. Yes. Okay. Dude. Not me gonna boycott StreamYard over here. They're a pain.
But love her in death and want justice for her. This is the street where she used to live. And this is the growing memorial that has been built to honor her in death.
Okay, I'm gonna get my water while this plays, and then when we come back, we'll get into the Reddit.
It's also the street where presumably her family still lives. So likely they are seeing this on a regular basis. We do know tonight that Celeste's remains have now been released to her family and that her family is planning a funeral for her on October 4th, presumably in Lake Elsinore. The fact that her remains have been released right now, that is striking because the LA medical examiner has not announced, quote, the mode or manner of death. Police are treating it like a homicide. But if there's any evidence that actually proved it's a homicide, they're not saying so. They're not saying anything. So again, we took our cameras and our crew to Celeste's hometown. And our producer shot this video of the scenic part of where she grew up, so you can see how beautiful this town is. The views are spectacular. I mean, look at this. It's sort of surrounded by mountains, halcyon existence. It's about an hour's drive from Los Angeles. So yeah, I guess you could commute. Lots of people do.
Or you could just decide to live in a quieter place like this. But we now know that Celeste didn't want to be here. She went missing from this town at least 3 times, beginning apparently in January of last year. That time, sources say she was discovered by LA police a month later in the Hollywood.
I come back and you guys are like, get your facts together, Banfield. Just no answer so far. It's weird. They have at least 60 days to produce an autopsy, you clown. The body was in pieces. Of course, it's a homicide. I know I took it down because I don't want you guys to get upset. No, it's disgusting, this case. Okay, let's get into the Reddit then. It was kind of a repeat of what we've already seen, but I just played it while I got my water. Please make sure you stay hydrated. Okay, let's see. Okay. I've been wanting to get to this. There's a couple different things on here that I was like, Somebody here says Celeste died on August 7th in Santa Rosa. I don't know that I believe that. Take this as you may. This is just Discord. I mean Reddit. Oh, is that Celeste as a little baby? Wow. How did the body get there? Has anyone considered how the body actually got into the car? It couldn't have been sitting there for long or smell would have been obvious. The tow truck drivers and officers ticketing would have reported a smell. It had to have been moved to the car around the date it was towed, right? So did the killer move it from the house while it was already decomposing, walking 2 blocks with a 120-pound body and totally go unnoticed? That kind of goes back to what I said earlier. How did the cops went there twice and ticketed the car? They would have smelt something. Right? This is a good one. How to prevent this. With many cases since past, Madeline Soto, a great example, in eerily similar, only difference is Stearns wasn't famous. This has me thinking about when I was young and things were happening around me, talking to people you shouldn't be talking to, the grooming, the love bombing. There has to be a way to prevent this. These girls don't see our post of past experiences. Their parents most of the time are unaware or unconcerned. Even when the parents are concerned, it doesn't get the appropriate response. There has to be something we can do collectively to keep an eye on this or something. You won't be able to convince anyone in her circle. Hell, her life had best interests at heart. Too many started caring when she passed, not when she was living. This was a complete failure. They should be very disappointed for allowing someone to lose their life just so that they had an early payday. So that's someone that's not very happy. Okay. This is interesting. Someone said the aunt or the mom did a post on April 25th saying Celeste was missing. Pictures of where she's seen on the surveillance that we just watched. Here's another picture of Celeste. Yeah, she looks young. She's the one in the white, obviously. Oh, this is the one I wanted to show you guys. So it says breaking Celeste Rivas David death investigation. First public sighting. David's mom spotted at a Texas gun store amid Schmurder probe. Colleen Robertsburg, the mother of David, was photographed leaving Tomball Pawn and Jewelry near Houston, clutching an AR-15 rifle manual. It is not clear what, if anything, she purchased inside the store. First time since Celeste Rivas remains were found in David's car. I don't know if that's relevant, but I saw that be brought up. I think she was killed elsewhere, says Tiffany. Hey, Evie. Maybe, so you don't think it was in the house? Because they were saying that they thought it was in the house, and they did blood trace in the house. Inner Beauty says, I also think because she was in the front, not the back, most people that passed by went to the back. Maybe most, oh, I see, because she was in the front. That makes sense. Could be, but a decomposing body smells really, really foul. Like, I don't think there's anything that could cover that up after a period of time. Yes, David has been interviewed. He has done a couple things. Her mom failed her because she ran away several times and she did not bother looking much. The house has been cleared. This case is confusing. Yeah, it is. Oh, I guess that's David's mom. Josh, the manager, knew that Celeste was underage and missing person since her family contacted him directly by email. You see? You see? Someone says, I'm starting to think Celeste was sadly one of the most abused girlfriends ever. Groomed her from very young, but we know that already. Probably used his videos to control and frighten her. Used his wealth and fame to try to make her feel worthless without him. Maybe killed another boyfriend she thought would save her. Exposed her to drugs and alcohol. Got another girl that looks like her and probably told her he has to do stuff with her to make it look like... This is also an interesting... I just saw lots of comments that I could agree with when I was reading these things. It says, the more I invested in this case, I'm seeing the more people just sat back and allowed David to do this to Celeste. Allegedly, Celeste's big sister was supportive of him being way older than her. And honestly, I think that would be one of the less crazy things happening in this case. But why didn't anyone else do anything? I feel like for something that is so incredibly illegal, that David was open about the relationship. Posting her kind of shows that maybe he wanted people to know. Maybe he didn't care. All I know is that his entire social media presence, his lyrics, his whole persona is a confession of what he did. At this point, you can't convince me he didn't do it. Do you guys agree with that post? A lot of people agree with that. That's a bit to carry a body in a bag to a car and the house was searched and cleared. True, Tiffany. Just because the house was cleared doesn't mean they didn't find anything, right? Also true. Cops, what exactly did the cops not do regarding seeking out the missing 13-year-old? The cops failed, treated her as a runaway. Yeah, AB. Just after a long time, it stopped smelling. Ugh. Maybe he was insane and his music was him trying to calm the insanity. Seems like he felt invisible. There's another one that says that the mom was in contact with the manager. Celeste's family allegedly contacted Josh Marshall, David's manager, in 2024 after Celeste's first disappearance. Celeste then came home within 24 hours. Allegedly. Okay, this is the one post I wanted to show you guys about the aunt. I guess the aunt has been posting on Facebook. Her name is Evelyn, and she's posting... She posted, a GoFundMe, like help lay Celeste Rivas down to rest. People are saying she's clout chasing. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't want to say anything mean, but someone says an invisible string theory. If you know about that, you know about that. He also deleted posts on September 17th and 18th. It could be things like sponsors on YouTube. Yeah, it could be. There's a video of the concert where they were saying it's Celeste. I don't know if they can prove it was Celeste in that video. It looks like her. They said it though. I don't know. I don't think we can tell unless I see her face close up. Why hasn't David been arrested? The LAPD's robbery homicide division is still investigating. The coroner has not determined cause or manner of death. I hope we get justice. They're saying there was a second Celeste. I don't necessarily know if I believe that. Oh, someone says, do we know how long the Tesla was dented? Could someone have hit her with the Tesla, like intentionally backed into her in a fit of rage? One of you guys said that in the chat earlier. That could she have been hit? Yes, Tiffany. She lived with him this whole time. She was a runaway. So that means the family knew. You know what I mean? I mean, is someone going to unalive this little girl for David? I don't think so. Maybe helping him get rid of the body, but not unalive her. He's innocent until proven guilty, but like all of this stuff does not look good, guys. It does not look good. Nonetheless, he's screwed. He's a PDF file, and I don't care. I mean, I do care whether he gets found guilty or not, but I'm just saying it's still not going to make this okay in my book at all. I still think he's a PDF file, and he needs to be charged for that. If he didn't commit this crime, he needs to be arrested for being a predator. She was 13 when she left last time and didn't go back home. She would have turned 15. Yeah. He did a heart gesture. I don't want to bash the family. No, we don't. We don't. We don't know what it was actually like in her home life, but at least we can agree that the running away thing and being a runaway is suspicious. Yeah, someone was saying there was transaction. He's 20 now, but I think he was between 17 and 20 when this was happening. Okay, this is what I was going to say. His mods knew. So this is a Twitch mod chat. Somebody said, yeah, like a regular chatter said, yeah, even if he didn't do it, you know, he still very likely had a relationship with a minor. And then someone says, but I don't know, I don't want to say too much. He did, like, I gotta watch out for what I say. It's just crazy because me and David have been friends for a while, man. I guess that's someone that knew him. Then this other thread says, how the F did no one say anything about it? And this person, Slim was banned, says, I was never in here often. I barely knew her existence. Asian said, Loki didn't even know David knew a girl named Celeste. Didn't know she was in the server either. It says, bro, like one person knew, and I don't know why he didn't say shit though. Interesting. This person on September 19th, 2025 says, I'm not the only one who knew. I shouldn't get in trouble, right? No, he knew too. Sorry, I had to sneeze. So this person is saying, I'm not the only one who knew. I shouldn't get in trouble, right? So people are worried that they're going to get in trouble. If you see something, say something. He couldn't have hid that child from his management either. No, they definitely knew. Let me see. There was maybe something else. David fans hear about the fake IDs and how David friends thought she was 19. I don't know about that. Oh, here's like this was a snap someone found on Reddit of her. She's young. This is her right here in the brown hoodie. Has anyone considered Celeste and David's childhood upbringings and mental health status? Oh, this is what someone did outside her home. Wow. That's really pretty. That's really sad. Little vigil thing. This one says, Celeste says, I love you at the end of the song we just listened to. I don't know if that's her, but I had read that. We did see the pictures on that video from SF Investigates of the Tesla having damage. And this is, you see the tape on the, what do you call this part? Oh man, I don't remember. Why is that taped? There's something going on with this car here. Where did they meet? They met on Discord. FBI will have all the chat logs. It's a crime to have child porn links. What? Oh, yes. They met online on Fortnite, said Cree. Yeah, there's a video on YouTube about it. I'm not promoting it. It shows the proof. David started seeing Celeste when she was 10. Yeah. No, I thought it was on Discord. I don't know. We don't really know. That's just what everybody's saying. Like, we don't really know. They could have met a lot sooner. Or maybe somewhere else, you know? Yeah, I kind of agree with this. I think only the public doesn't know what actually happened. I think the investigators, as well as her family, already knows what happened and is just starving the public. Maybe they're doing like an investigation or something.
Trained you.
Oh, this is a clip of when she calls him a graper. We played it in the last one. I'm going to play it again here in the last live. Wasn't he homeschooled by religious parents? I don't think so. They go hand in hand. Yeah, point is they met on social media. Who are you telling to shut up? Oh, yeah. Discord is where people connect from gaming. Yeah, people are saying Scientology there was an area there. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. Yeah, at this point, we're gonna get a lot of hearsay and rumor. Yeah. Okay, let's watch this clip really quick.
Trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
She says it's controversial of you graping kids. She says that. So she knew. They're talking about Epstein in the chat, but like, how ironic.
Raping kids. It's controversial of raping kids.
Really good.
Okay,
It's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my. Delete
And they end the live, and then he says
everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything.
Delete everything. We saw that clip in the first live. He was talking about Epstein. I hope he doesn't like end things before he gets convicted. I was thinking that for reals. I did. I'm like, what if he unalives himself if it was him? Kim says, I lived in a town. I lived next town over from Lake Elsinore. Never heard Scientology, but lots of other crazy things. Everyone's here. Oh, look, this is more at the vigil. She loved Hello Kitty. Oh, so sad. She was just a kid. The obsession was insane. Okay. I'm just making sure.
So I am a crime scene investigator, and I'm a
David deleted 6 YouTube videos the day they recognized the Celeste body. Yeah, where's her phone? This is why I wanted to get to this part. Just wondering where her phone might be. No reports have mentioned a phone being with the body. Where could it be and who was paying the bill? Yes. Where is her phone? And I'm sure they already probably figured that out and pulled the data. Did like a forensic download. I don't think that's her. That doesn't look like her, right, guys? That looks like someone else. I don't know.
Popular.
Okay. Let's get to the timeline. Okay. This is the next before we move on. Celeste Rivas, medical examiner, that on the 10th day of September, in accordance with the law, he inquired the circumstances surrounding the death of the above mentioned person. Celeste Rivas, a female, age about 15, she came to her death on the 8th day of September. Vehicle, the address for the location of the vehicle, Los Angeles, California, and that was caused by pending further medical evaluation. Oh yeah, and this one too. How the F did she get a tattoo? I did put that in my this makes me want to vomit. I know. In my PowerPoint, because how did she get a tattoo? I know that you can do things and get away around it, and he had money, so I'm sure it was really easy. But did she get that tattoo when she was away from home or at home? Because if it was at home, I have questions. If her phone has been found, why couldn't cops track her down? Yeah, that's why I think who was paying for her phone. Someone said a theory and some clues. I'm pretty sure we will find out how mentally ill he was. They're talking about David being mentally ill. The home David rented had cameras. The owner gave them access to the security cameras when David's manager leased the house. So it's difficult to say whether they were or not. It says where the car was parked. Google Drive photos. Oh, this is a picture of weird lyrics. When you told me you were alone, 115 messages I sent right to your phone, and you don't even answer because you know your cover's blown. I know the dirty secrets. Yeah, I guess there's like a ton of songs that he mentions weird things.
If you're following the case of
Allegedly,
David, you need
Celeste
to
was
hear
used
this.
to hide during his live streams. Discord mods trying to delete evidence. General chat is gone. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier in the Discord for David, where they were talking. It's now shut down. Same with the subreddit. Why is David not arrested yet? I agree, my ear. Okay, let's get to the timeline. Don't his songs just confirm that, or is it just me? I know what you mean. I know what you mean. So many rappers have been locked up for that very thing. I agree, Cree. Okay, timeline. It's a detailed timeline. And I think it's really good. Sorry, StreamYard. Okay. So David's birthday. Okay. Born in Queens, New York. Celeste Rivas, missing from Lake Elsinore and Cali since April 2024. Let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom it in. Says, oh, too much. So March 28th, 2022, Celeste would have been 11 years old. Decide release date. So that's when he released a song. David and Celeste make up and or begin dating online. David shows the first signs of jealousy and possessiveness, evidenced by TikTok's song released on May 3rd, 2022, of him complaining about a girl devouring his soul and threatening to kill her. Evidenced by TikTok's song released on May 5th, 2022, celebrating that a girl wants to come over. And then there's a song release on May 10th where he accuses of a girl of lying, says his thoughts about the girl are getting deadly. On May 14th, 2022, TikTok about how fast the relationship is moving. There was a fallout between May 19th and May 30th of 2022. TikTok song saying if it's not about money, they have to separate. Shorty got the cake and describes pew-pewing someone in the face. I think this is a way of saying he thinks Celeste is using his money as an excuse. This is just someone who made this timeline. Here With Me was first released on TikTok on May 17th, 2022, released on the 18th. July 20th, 2022, Romantic Homicide released as a single from debut EP Petals to Thrones. Romantic Homicide, it turns out this was actually released almost 2 months before Celeste's birthday. The music video was uploaded on her birthday. On July 23rd, 2022, unreleased song Beautiful Morning, which describes watching someone you love die. He continues dropping sad songs. August 2022, August 15th and August 28th, Discord messages with 𝐼𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐲, which is David's friend bodyguard. We showed those in the first live. Security or friend or whatnot. September 2022, David signs with Darkroom and Interscope. Music video was released on 9/7, Celeste's 12th birthday. Yo, is that like a coincidence? Because I don't believe in those. He's releasing songs like on her birthday, videos. It says on 9/17, he explains the source of his inspiration for the song is from the movie Up. I believe him because this is the only happy or romantic song he wrote. October 23rd, 2022, David asked Discord, is Celeste in here? He would have been 17. She would have been 12. I showed that Discord part in the first live as well. Definitely make sure you go watch that. 12 years old, 17 and 12. Be honest. What do you think? This is weird. I was 11 in 5th grade. Did you see the video of him crying during the performance of Afterlife? Yeah. Okay, so let's see. November 4th, 2022, David recaps his first trip to LA for music, probably the first time he meets Celeste in person. On 11/27/2022, November 2022, David releases song Notes from a Wrist, which is pretty dark as well. And then it starts in 2023, January. This person says he's still emo. On January 7th, 2023, David posts a song on TikTok that repeats, "Don't tell me you forgot about me." And David posts a song musing that his girl must have found someone better. February 2nd, 2023, David posts video lamenting that girls don't like him. On the 7th of 2023, February, David posts TikTok showing an empty room. He's moving. David reveals Itami alter ego. So if you guys have heard about that regarding this case, he created like an alter ego named Itami, and Itami ends up dying. And that's what he wrote that song about in that video about a few different ones. But it's his alter ego, and he reveals him in February of 2023. He finishes the tour in early May of 2023. I'm sorry. Yeah. February 28th, David performs in London. He performs for Drake Underground in Toronto in Canada. David moves to LA as seen in TikTok date on March 3rd. I need to save this. This is a really good timeline. On March 9th, 2023, where he is with his mom shopping at Home Goods. He is not seen posting from his family home again. On March 14th, 2023, Zach Sang Show interviews David. On March 28th, 2023, he makes a reference to Bay. Could this be the other person who came forward and said he dated her in 2023 as a minor? April 10th, 2023, David introduces Itami on TikTok, his alter ego. Then relationship woes pop up again in April of 2023. He releases a video for I'm Here For You, which I just played, featuring the Celeste lookalike. That was in April of 2023. May of 2023, David posts a TikTok that says, point of view, the friend you left in season 2 shows up in season 5. Could this be Celeste? March 28th, 2023, Europe UK tour starts in Manchester. He was on a European leg tour from 5/30 to 6/19. June of 2023, David, which would be 18 years old, and his high school ex, 16 in Texas, broke up due to David going on tour. I wonder where they got that information from. August, USA tour ends in LA, California. Post videos with caption, when they hurt you so bad, you make a song in the mountains. September 7th of 2023 is Celeste's 13th birthday. He posted TikTok that says, point of view, you guys, when you hear the saddest song I've ever made tonight. He performs for SZA in September of 2023, just about a year ago. Yeah, I know. I knew I was going to come back to you guys freaking out. 11 and 12 years old. What the actual F? My kid is almost 11 and it just makes me want to vomit. I know, Reese. Okay, 11, 12 to 17. I mean, how is that like sexy and hot? I don't get it. He does sounds fixated on a girl with a relationship. Yes, Jamie. Like, that's sick. Shake my head. I know. That's right. He was another minor before Celeste. Yeah, that's what I meant earlier when I said this isn't the first time he's done this. And whoever chopped her up, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be like rude, but must have had some experience with violence before. When they hurt you so bad, you make a song in the mountains. I know, Jamie. Okay, let's see. October. So he performs with SZA. November 26, 2023. Post TikTok about how not to be the worst person in the world. Celeste and David appear to be officially dating. December 12th, 2023. David is 18. He posts pics with Celeste, 13 years old. Discord asks, who's the girl? You are a Fed. And the song leaks on December 23rd, 2023. So now we started on 2024. On January 11th, 2024, a stream with Celeste appeared online with David in California. On January 20th, 2024, first teases. Okay, so he has a song called Leave Her, and in it he says he'd swallow an air tag so she can track him. January 22nd, 2024, I Love You, romantic Hello Kitty. David on live stream with a girl, Celeste, ? Quickly ends the stream and asks mods to delete everything. We just watched that. Photo of David and Celeste possibly taken January 2024 based on girl wearing the same jacket she was wearing during the live stream. On January 22nd, 2024, post a TikTok about how texts that say, I love you, my baby. Then he posts TikTok swagged out with Hello Kitty, because that was Celeste's favorite, I think. February 24, lease starts. David's manager, John Marshall, began renting Hollywood Hills from an owner of the name Maudlin Trifunek. Sorry if I said that wrong. Butchered it. Ooh, wrong choice of words. February 2nd, 2024, David does a show in Australia. He posts TikToks, about Hello Kitty, emo songs, more romantic TikToks, TikTok joking about being possessive. Okay, bolded date. February 14th, 2024 is the first known date Celeste runs away. Chris says it just seems very elite level shit, if you know what I mean. I hate to keep being so conspiratorial, but this is weird. Jamie says he sounds disturbed, almost like he's mixing fantasy and reality. His phone should have a bunch of evidence of the relationship. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see that. The phone stuff. Okay, so Celeste, 13 years old, disappeared missing for 1 month. February 14th, 2024. On the 19th, Celeste seen walking around dazed and barefoot in Lake Elsinore, according to comments posted on a Facebook post by Celeste's aunt. Oh, I didn't see those words. Barefoot? February 25th, 2024, post about tricking everyone into thinking Leave Her is a love song. Oh, he's David, his music. March 2024, police found Celeste in Hollywood and returned her to school. She told peers she was with David. That's the clip with the teacher. The teacher says that, they knew her and she had run away. March 19th, 2024, Del Lago Spirits allegedly captures security footage of Celeste. Okay, we saw that. March 22nd, Celeste and David appeared together on his Instagram post in California. March 28th, 2024, David's 19th birthday was celebrated in Texas. Discord calls Celeste 13 years old and David 19 his girlfriend. 13 and 19. Wow. April of 2024. Still talking about music. Okay. So April 5th, 2024, Celeste runs away second time. On April 5th, Celeste was last seen at Lake Elsinore, California, and was reported missing. She disappears again wearing Hello Kitty Crocs, which we saw video of her in her Crocs at a concert backstage. The day after Celeste runs away, David posts, "Hey, David, what's your superpower?" And the next photo says, "Never being able to express my feelings properly because I was homeschooled and had no social life for 5 years." That's what David said. So it sounds like David has some mental, emotional issues going on here. Oh no, Alicia. I hope you're okay. She was in Hollywood. On TikTok saying his depression is cured. Then April 29th, an undated photo shows Hello Kitty keychain plus Crocs. Celeste texts friend about David finding out she was with another guy. This is around the time she ran away and never came back. May 2024, last contact family had with Celeste. Her brother says she vanished after leaving with David in a Tesla Model X to see a movie. From May 10th to June 30th, 2024, ongoing Discord and online activity occurred in California. On May 11th, David reposted about another guy. And then on May 25th, 2024, David USA tour starts in Boston. And then June 2nd of 2024, video of Celeste and her cousin's TikTok. I'm wondering, was that an old video of the TikTok or was she in it? Because that would have meant she went back home. Huh. Relationship drama on June 16, 2024. Then it says David posted on June 20th, TikTok saying, "I'm so in love with you." Seems to suggest her family knew where she was after she was reported missing in April. June 27th, 2024, video of David and girl in Hello Kitty Crocs at concert. The concert was in San Francisco, California. Okay, July 2nd, 2024, an Instagram post showed a gathering in California. David posts, "I miss my girlfriend." Oh, because he was on tour. 7/9/2024, David show in Dublin. On the 11th in July of 2024, Discord messages saying, "Kid on the way, due in March." This is what I was telling you guys earlier. He said, "Kid on the way, due in March 2025. David posted that. Who, what kid? Who, and born March 2025? That was just like what, the beginning of the year? Huh. This is sketchy. I was wondering if he thought she cheated because of the songs. Sounded like he was paranoid. Yeah, you guys. He said in a Discord, I had the pictures too. I thought they might be on my phone. Oh crap. It says Discord yeah, he posted in the Discord. That's when he said my wifey's pregnant or something. That was on July 11, 2024. I've seen some comments claim this was an inside joke in the Discord, so I don't know if she was actually pregnant. Photo of the ring and the tattoo. Possibly the last post from or about Celeste. On July 11, 2024, chats appeared online with collaboration jokes. David in California. I don't know what that means. On July 12th, a disclosure of Kid on the Way was made in Discord with an expected due date of March 21st, 2025. On July 12th, 2024, There Goes My Baby. He released a song by There Goes My Baby, the name. Then the 16th, the tour ends. He's posting more about girlfriends. On July 2024, photo of David and a girl alleged to be Celeste. Celeste was sighted at Bossa Nova wearing an engagement ring. Haven't heard anything about that. An Instagram post showed Celeste photographed with headscarf, balloons, and an engagement ring. Okay, that's crazy. Have you guys heard of that? June 2024 would have been pregnant. She could not have traveled with David to her age, so maybe she was with someone else or trafficked. Okay, August 2024, he performs in Canada. Celeste's 14th birthday was celebrated in California. Okay, so he's celebrating in Singapore. Touring in Singapore, so South Korea, Hong Kong. He releases Remember Me on November 15th. No more post about love or girlfriend or Celeste after November 2024. Where is Celeste? 14 years old at the time. Interesting. November 2024 is when he stopped singing about her. Or mentioning her, I guess, in the Discord socials. December 19th, 2024, he releases Where'd It Go Wrong? It's my most heartbreaking song yet, he says. On December 22nd, 2024, post a TikTok with the text, presumably Celeste, saying, quote unquote, "If you're not going to introduce me to Billie Eilish, why are we even together?" He adds the caption, "How is we serious?" He's building Hello Kitty skateboards on TikTok. Okay, February 25th, 2025. So now we're in this year. There's a photo with the ring. The ring finger has tattooed David in red. Yeah, I saw the tattoo, but I didn't know about the engagement ring, allegedly. Okay, February 1st, 2025. He's singing to his Hello Kitties on TikTok. Okay. Then on the 7th, one more dance song gets released. On February 10th, 2025, David posts a TikTok, no Valentine this year. Where is Celeste? 14 years old. Wow, that's a good observation. What? March 9th, 2025, David attends a show in Paris Fashion Week. March 28th, 2025, What Are You Waiting For? Release date. David's 20th birthday was celebrated in Texas in March 28th. February 2nd, 2025, Celeste purse is seen on the couch in a TikTok. Okay. March. Oh my God, I can't get my shit together. April 11th and April 18th, 2025, David performs at Coachella. April 24th, David is interviewed by the Associated Press. On April 25th, Withered, his song, is released. And then he goes on the Zach Sang show. Invisible String Theory, where he references an unnamed ex-girlfriend. Okay, I mentioned that earlier. He performs in the Philippines on May 16th, 2025. So now we go to June 25. Women's legs can be seen in the background of his apartment while he films a TikTok. No confirmation that it's Celeste. Okay, that was on June 23rd. June 26th through the 27th, David attends show in Paris Fashion Week. July 25th, Mario Kart and mentions a Celeste. Could have been the other Celeste. David seems to be in the rental house on Bluebird on July 3rd, 2025. July 9th, David collabs with Jason in Summer Uptown, and a girl resembling Celeste appears in music video. July 14th, he performs in Tokyo. July 18th, Discord chats about liking minors. Last time Celeste's friends heard from her. Between July 30th and August 5th, 2025, a possible deposit was made in a Tesla trunk in California. August 25th, a tour show took place at the Sound in Del Mar, California. August 8th, there was a show at Southside Ballroom in Dallas, Texas. August 20th, there was a show in Brooklyn, New York. And then there was a show on August 22nd in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. August 23rd, he was sighted at the Fillmore Silver Spring in Maryland, which was disproven by TMZ. Okay, good to know. August 24th, a second Silver Spring show was scheduled in Maryland. August 26th, a tour show was held at the Agora Theater in Cleveland, Ohio. On August 26th, a Tesla was reported abandoned while David is in Ohio. Okay, so allegedly he was in Ohio. Did she get pregnant from somebody else? Good question. Maybe she got pregnant and she got raped. We don't know. We don't know who was around her, or what was going on with him being on tour. Was she with him? Somebody said she couldn't go with him because of the age, but she had fake IDs. I mean, there's so many questions. Okay, we're almost done with this timeline. On August 26th, complaint about abandoned Tesla. August 27th at 2:26 p.m., DOT reported vehicle's location and damage to trunk. Was parked in 2 other spots before being abandoned. So the Tesla was parked in 2 other spots before being abandoned. Who moved it and why were they moving it? And it's a Tesla. Like I said in the first live I did, who wouldn't report their freaking Tesla stolen unless you don't think it's stolen and someone else, you let your expensive car be in possession of others, maybe your team, maybe your manager, I don't know. A minor cannot consent. Of course it would be grape right. Tor was his alibi. Ooh, if he gets off, if this is like unsolved, I'm going to freak out. Okay, so August 29th through the 30th, David performs in Canada. August 31st, David performs with 𝐼𝐨𝐬𝐲-𝐕𝐞𝐫𝐬𝐞 in Texas. Not September 3rd, parking citation. That's when photo of the Tesla with a large dent. Tesla was ticketed by an officer near David's home while he was in Illinois. Tesla was towed and impounded. David was in Wisconsin. This is when I said, wouldn't they have smelt a rotting, decomposing body? September 5th, Tesla towed to impound lot. Neighbors said Tesla was spotted in various places over the last few months before it was abandoned. 3 weeks. At least they said. Neighbors noticed the foul odor, but the tow truck driver didn't. Maybe he didn't get close enough, but I thought you had to like hook it up on the back to the tow truck. I don't know. September 7th, Celeste's 15th birthday was marked with David in Wisconsin. Remains discovered in Tesla registered to David on September 8th. Wow, her remains were found a day after her birthday. That really is just not a coincidence. Body found not intact, wearing leggings and a metal bracelet, weighing 71 pounds. On September 8th, an unidentified body was found. We know that. Police responded to an odor complaint. September 9th through the 13th, David performs in Montana, Colorado, etc. September 15th and 16th, police visit David's home in Cyprus. David cancels Seattle performance on September 16th. Remains confirmed to be Celeste on the 17th. Police raid Hollywood house that evening. 6 videos deleted from David's YouTube channel. On September 17th, the body was identified as Celeste. September 19th, the tour was canceled and the remaining U.S. and international dates were scraped. On September 19th, a search warrant was executed for David's home. Medical statement from the medical examiner. David cancels the rest of his remaining U.S. tour dates. Discord mods deleting chats. September 20th. September 22nd, David seen playing Fortnite. September 23rd, David's manager breaks lease on Hollywood Hills house. September 24th, viral photo of girl resembling Celeste at David's show. On August 24th, but it's not Celeste. On September 25th, remains returned to Celeste's family. Where was Celeste staying if she wasn't with David in February of 2025 and had not returned home to her family? When and where was this video taken? Good question. Deleted videos? Yeah. Can you imagine? Before we end the live, we're covering the Celeste case, but also the same day that Celeste's body was found in the trunk, there was a case. There's another crime with a different body found in a different car. And I don't know if you guys have seen this on other channels, but I have the article. And before we end it, I thought we would cover this. So the same day the Celeste remains were found, some other remains were found in LA. In the trunk of a Honda. Is it a coincidence? Maybe. How did 2 people get found in a trunk in the same area? Like, how often does that happen in LA? LA is huge. Could be possible. Okay, so it says scorched human remains were discovered inside a car sitting in Los Angeles tow yard one day after a putrid dismembered body was found dumped in a Tesla belonging to singer David in a different impound lot in the same city. The eerie coincidence was reported by local outlets, but the 2 cases are believed not to be linked. Police found a burned body in a torched blue Honda Civic on Tuesday in a lot located near Gage Street and Western Avenue. Details about the victim and the owner of the vehicle were not immediately known. It's a second body found in LA towed yards in as many days. The first gruesome discovery was made on a Hollywood impound lot on Monday, where the Tesla reportedly registered to David was found to contain a dead person wrapped in a plastic bag. The poor soul was found in front trunk of a 2023 Tesla, decomposing state. The car bears Texas plates had been towed to the lot. We know that. David remains on tour. He's cooperating with police. So yeah, I just thought that was interesting. Do I think they're connected? No, and I guess we can wait for law enforcement to say something, but how did two bodies get found like a couple miles away within each other, like I don't know. Could it be possible that that person did it to Celeste and that person? I don't know. Anything could be possible at this point. Law enforcement has not released a formal statement, and he has not been charged. He hasn't even been named a suspect. So what the hell is going on? All speculation. Yes, allegedly. Allegedly. Like I just said, these are just my thoughts, me covering the case. We still need to hear from law enforcement, and I hope that Celeste gets justice soon, and I hope we get more answers. I will continue to cover this. I mean, there's things coming out every single day, so I might do some shorts on it. If they cannot prove he was NLA when the car was moved several times, then no probable cause. I fear that. I fear that. And if he was and has an alibi, who did this to Celeste? That would give this case a whole nother turn. David has to get formally charged by a grand jury. That could still take a while. Sometimes it takes months. They might still be investigating. And I know, with the body decomposed that much, I was reading online that it could take up to 5 months for them to get the medical stuff that they need back, the toxicology results and all of that. David is guilty. Justice for Celeste. Yeah, I hope there's true justice for Celeste. My heart goes out to her family. I was not victim blaming. I just want to reiterate that. I just am questioning the home life because I do think it factors into what's happened here. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I was going to come back and do a Mackenzie live, but we'll see either that or a after dark. And if I don't, I will see you guys tomorrow with more lives. Like I said, I will be continue to cover this case. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments. Such a sad and strange case. I know. Thank you so much for being here. Don't mind my opinions are like a-holes. Yeah, they are. Don't mind my tech issues. And this case is complicated by time offset from body decomp. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for being here. Shout out to Cree, my mod. Thank you. I believe in presumption of innocence. Part of what inspired my name. If he did it, let's see how the trial plays out. Agreed. Liberties podcast. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. I appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow, possibly tonight. We'll see. I'm tired and don't want to. Okay, so maybe we'll do Kenzie tomorrow because JV's tired. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Please hit the like button on the way out. Turn on your notifications, and I'll see you guys on the next live.